Hello and welcome to Pinnacle Learning Center Staff Training. I'm Steve Shapiro, the founder of Pinnacle Learning, and we've been tutoring hundreds and hundreds of students every year in Massachusetts since the mid-90s. And this session we're going to talk a little about our back office system, which is known as Centertrac. Now, Centertrac has a lot of different purposes, and it is a good system which is online and easy for you to access from anywhere. Um, it achieves three things. One highly important thing is that it tracks your hours. So at the end of the month, our bookkeeper can shoot you an accurate check, which you greatly deserve. And secondly, it also helps us tabulate how many hours each client's been tutored. So again, an invoice can go out to them at the end of the month. And lastly, it helps generate a little communication between you, the tutor, and our main office, our director, and the parents of our students. So at the end of each tutoring session, basically, you're going to take what basically takes 1 to 2 minutes um, online on this form, and you're going to fill it out, and that's going to then generate all of this information um, that is very important. I can tell you that obviously the part of paying you and billing our clients is extremely important, but the communication part is extremely important part of our success. We certainly have experienced before and after using this system, and after using this system, it definitely helped business, and I think it helped everything about the tutoring that was going on for all of our staff because when we document what's going on each time and that invariably gets sent as an email to the parent, and the parent's in the loop, our director's in the loop, and it helps if there are any issues. It also is a good way of being kind of positive and proactive about your session with the parent if there is reason to be positive and proactive. Um, and in most cases, there is with our students. And that level of communication, I think, has helped our overall business very much. So I'll stop talking and we can cut to the chase and take a look at what Centertrac looks like. Okay, so first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to the Pinnacle Learning website, which is pinnacle-learning.com. And at the very top left button under our logo is Member Login. We're going to click on Member Login, and you're going to be given a username, which is usually just your email address. We're going to use John Smith, and your password that you're starting with is Pinnacle. You can change it to something else if you wish afterwards. And what's going to pop up is the Centertrac um, main page. Now, it might look like it's kind of vacant right now, but it won't after you start tutoring some students and their names will appear automatically. But when your student doesn't appear automatically, you can always go right into the student search field and just type in their name. And you could type in part of their name or all of their name. I'm going to find someone named Andrew. Okay, we've got Andrew. I'm going to look at Andrew Flynn. So if I'm tutoring Andrew Flynn and I just finished tutoring him, I'm going to go to the right of his name all the way to the session button. Click once on the session button. And this is the form that you will fill out after every tutoring session. Okay, and it's populated with a lot of drop-down boxes, and then there's one box that's the important box to put in 3 or 4 sentences to the parents. So as you can see, it pre-populates the date, the time, and 1 hour, which is the typical session, but certainly if you're tutoring for 1.5 or 2 hours, you put that in. Subject, you're going to say, I'm going to say that it was SAT 1 prep. Attendance, either present, absent, or late cancel. It was present. Type of tutoring, I will say that it was private one-on-one. Location is not important and requires attention would be a button that you would click if you really needed to talk to our director about the session. Otherwise, leave it blank. And there are 3 different ratings that we use. One is their energy and attitude. You can give them poor, fair, good, or excellent. We'll say you had a good attitude. Understanding of today's topics. I'm going to say excellent. And overall progress, which is sort of a big picture. Obviously, on your first session, that's doesn't really matter. But after that, a way of saying, how's things coming along for this student? And be honest about this. One of the um, typical mistakes that some people had done in the past was always be excellent, excellent, excellent. And, 3 months later, the report card came and it was not so excellent. And parents really had obviously some questions about that and questions about the validity of the tutoring. So I think it's great to be positive, yet at the same time, you have to also be honest to sort of also cover your end. If there's some lack of understanding, then, probably using the fair drop down is better than using the excellent drop down. And it's not the end of the world. Okay, and then the most important box right here is client notes. And I'll just read what it says above it. It says, be proactive and positive. If there seems to be a problem, then offer a potential solution or direction. Be specific if there's something you would like the parent to do. This will go directly to the parent via email after review from our director, so that you know that this email will go first to our director. She will review it. And if she feels there's issues or anything about it that she needs to talk to you first about before she zaps it to the parent, she will do that. Otherwise, on a nightly basis, she'll review it and she'll zap it to the parent. The parent will immediately then get the email. So you put that in that box, and the following box are administrative notes. That would be really if you clicked on the requires attention box. Then this part of the recap is really just coming to the director. It would never go to the parent. So this would be where you might say the student, came with a less than positive attitude, or the student consistently is coming unprepared, or issues like that. And quite honestly, about 95% of the time, that box is left blank and just skipped by our tutors. And basically after that, you're done. The group note is not for individual tutors, so you can ignore. So you get to the bottom and you click add, and boom, that thing will zing once again to our director, and it's over. Just to give you an idea of some different type of, I wanted to show you some different client reports that tutors have given to us. Let me just larger for you. Take a look. I'm going to leave these up and you can read them for a few seconds. And these are a combination of a few SAT tutors had written them, one elementary school tutor, and you can see kind of the tone of the recaps and the importance of having the positive and proactive tone that we really require. While you're reading that, I'll just, blurt some more, because as the founder of this place, that's what I like to do. And just say that I think, what our success has been over the past 15 years is mostly attributed to getting this message across to each of you who are qualified tutors, that the spirit of your tutoring is very important. When we interview you and when we decide to have someone join our team, we really always say that 50% is your technical knowledge. We want to make sure that you have the knowledge and the background that you can be a really effective tutor. But the other 50% really is your attitude. It's not just your attitude of, as I say, filling this out positively and proactively, but it's how you build a relationship with the student. We could tell you that anytime that you start out and continue to have a good relationship with the student, there will be a success story. And how do you do that? People often ask me, so what is the key to that? And I always say, I can't tell you. It's different on a case-by-case basis. You are different from the other tutor. That one student is different from the other student. I will say that one of the best ways to kick things off the first time you meet and each session is to spend somewhere between 2, 3, I don't care, 5 minutes even of chit chat before you get started. Think about common interests that you both have and can talk about, and different things that you can talk about with the student. And that is really the key to having that successful relationship. And the successful relationship will create the successful results. So enough talking by me. You can replay this video as often as you want if you want to see how to go through Centertrac. It is pretty self-explanatory. I will tell you that if you forget to fill that out after a session, it is an issue because the bookkeeper could never know that you did that session. Your check will be short. Additionally, we're going to create some billing problems because we're going to underbill the client, and it's just a real mess. So I beg of you, and our bookkeeper, if she could be on this video, would really beg of you, please make it a habit. Certainly if you're working at our center, do it right away. If you're working, visiting someone's home, I understand that you would want to go home first, but try to fill it out as soon as you can so everything's fresh in your mind. Definitely never let more than 12 hours expire between the time that you do the tutoring and that you fill this out, because history has proven those who wait longer than that amount of time end up, one, doing more of a sloppy job with the recap, two, sometimes forgetting and then getting shorted on their paycheck and creating just a lot of extra work for our administrative staff. So thank you again. Thanks for becoming a Pinnacle tutor. We look forward to having you work with our students. And by all means, call us, email us anytime you ever have any questions as you're just starting out your first few months on the job. Thanks.